A very warm welcome to richplanet.net, a program dedicated to uncovering the truth about the alien and UFO mystery. I'm Richard D. Hall, and this week's program is about UFO disclosure. First of all, what is UFO disclosure? It's a commonly held belief that our governments, in particular the American government, hold secrets about extraterrestrials and unidentified flying objects. Many people believe that these secrets have been kept by successive government administrations for at least 60 years. There is massive speculation about the detail and extent of these secrets. UFO disclosure would be the uncovering or announcement to the public about some or all of these secrets. Those who follow the UFO phenomena, and in particular the politics behind the subject, increasingly believe that the human race are being prepared for disclosure. In this program, I will examine previous attempts to get our governments to disclose the secrets. I will also examine whether there has been attempts by presidents to disclose the secrets. And what about the future? When and how will governments tell the people? Probably the most significant attempt in history to get the US government to reveal its secrets took place on May the 9th, 2001. To explain this event, I need to go back in time to 1993, when Dr. Stephen Greer was a medical doctor and he started an organization called the Disclosure Project. Between that time and 2001, Dr. Greer signed up over 450 military and intelligence personnel who were prepared to give statements about their involvement with UFOs and extraterrestrials. Dr. Greer gave up his job to pursue the Disclosure Project full time, and in 2001 they held a historic press conference in Washington, D.C. at the National Press Club. At this conference, 21 witnesses spoke at length about their experiences of ETs and ET technology. The world's media attended the event and recorded the detailed witness testimony. The day was just 4 months before 9/11, and the world was poised to have the greatest secret ever kept blown into smithereens. All of the witnesses who took part thought that this conference was going to kickstart the disclosure process and bring about changes in the world that could not be imagined. They all thought that they were going to be on the front pages of every national newspaper in the world. However, what actually happened was very disappointing. The world's media let the world down on a grand scale. And here in the UK, I cannot remember it being reported anywhere, and I've never heard anyone speak of the event. Was the world's media asleep on that day? Or did they have their mouths firmly zipped by the US government? Some people think that the event actually had the opposite effect of its intended goal, that the US government had perhaps been making subtle moves towards disclosure, but was so intimidated by the demands of the Disclosure Project, it decided to lock the UFO vault and wait for a better opportunity. Once disclosure does occur, everyone will look back on this day with total disbelief that governments were not stirred into action. In this program, I'm going to show some clips from the 2001 disclosure witnesses. Firstly, introducing Dr. Stephen Greer himself, the founder of the project.
We are here today to disclose the truth about a subject that has been ridiculed and questioned, denied for at least 50 years. The men and women who are on this stage and the some 350 additional military intelligence witnesses to the so-called UFO matter and extraterrestrial intelligence can prove and will prove that we are not alone.
I've selected a few of the witnesses that spoke on that day, starting with Michael Smith. Michael Smith was a radar operator at several different US air bases throughout the United States. In this first clip, he talks about what you do when you see a UFO. He mentions the word NORAD, which is the North American Air Defense Command, who are the central organization responsible for air defense for the whole of North America and Canada. He also uses the term a heads up, which is an American term for an advanced warning. Notice how nervous Michael Smith is, because he is revealing military secrets.
My name is Michael Smith. I was in the Air Force, a sergeant, from 1967 to 1973. I was aircraft control and warning operator. While I was assigned to Klamath Falls, Oregon, in early 1970, I arrived at the radar site, and they were watching a UFO on a radar that was hovering at about 80,000 feet. It sat there for about 10 minutes and then slowly descended until it dropped off the radar. It was gone for about 5–10 minutes, and then instantly reappeared at 80,000 feet, stationary. The next sweep of the radar, it was 200 miles away, stationary. It hovered there for about 10 minutes and redid the whole cycle twice more. When I found out what you normally do when you see a UFO, I was told that you notify NORAD, you don't necessarily write anything down, you don't write anything down, and you keep it to yourself. It's a need-to-know basis only. And NORAD one night called me about later in the year to let me know as a heads up that there was a UFO coming up the California coastline. I asked them what I should do about this. They said, nothing, don't write it down, it's just a heads up.
In order to explain the next clip, I've produced a simple chart. This shows the United States and the NORAD control room, which is located in the middle of the US in Colorado. I've also shown the location of Michael Smith's new job, which was at Sault Ste. Marie, Michigan Air Base. In this next clip, he described what happens when the police see a UFO.
And then late 1972, while stationed at the 753rd Radar Squadron in Sault Ste. Marie, Michigan, I received a couple panicky calls from police officers who were chasing 3 UFOs from Mackinac Bridge up I-75. So I immediately checked the radar, confirmed that they were there, called NORAD, and they were concerned because they had 2 inbound B-52s going to Kinslow Air Force Base. So they diverted them because they didn't want any proximity to the 2. And that night I answered many calls from the police department, sheriff's department and stuff. And my standard response was that there was nothing on radar. And I will testify to this under oath to a congressional hearing.
My standard response was, there's nothing on the radar. No wonder there are so many frustrated policemen and women out there. I've illustrated in the diagram the chain of deceit. We have at the bottom of the chain the public, who see the UFO and instantly call the police. The police head out in their patrol cars, witness the UFOs and start chasing them. They then call Michael Smith at the airbase, who calls NORAD. NORAD tells Smith to tell the police there's nothing on the radar. This is how the UFO cover-up works on a day-to-day basis. It is as simple as that.